Hubby likes to take me make a voice point 10 years of my wife's life for my lottery win. I asked him what he meant and he told me I was making a fuss. Then he turns around and talks to his mother-in-law about promotion, wealth, dead wife.So I made a vow, my husband's entire life expectancy in exchange for my winning $50 million that he scolded me for my wickedness. The next moment, I won $50 million that he panicked that I went to buy lottery tickets with my husband. Every time before he scratches a ticket, he kowtows to me, please let me win the lottery, even if it's $5 million. There's no one in the world more superstitious than him. In order to win the lottery, he buys one every day. Married for 10 years, he's been buying lottery tickets for 20. He's never won a jackpot. All that money saved is enough to buy a suite. I was bored and waiting by the side, when I suddenly heard my husband say, please pray for fortune, God's blessing, use my wife's 10-year life expectancy for me to win $5 million. I froze. I looked at him in disbelief. How could he say such vicious words, even if it was a joke? But his pious look didn't look like a fake. I froze there for a long time, not knowing what to say. He finished his wish and excitedly scratched the lottery ticket. He mumbled like a man possessed, I'm sure I'll win this time. I'm sure I'll win. My heart was torn up. After all, he was going to exchange my life for it. The next second, the look on his face was like a deflated ball. He tore the ticket to shreds. Cursing, he walked out of the lottery store. I asked him, why did you just trade my life expectancy? He played dumb. Huh? Did I? I forgot. His couldn't care less look made me feel a little uncomfortable. You just said you'd give me 10 years of my life in exchange for you winning the jackpot, and you've forgotten it so quickly. He looked at me like I was trying to get to the bottom of it, and his eyes twinkled. Oh, I just said that. Don't take it seriously. I have a friend who says that making a vow like this is especially effective, and who wouldn't win the lottery if we both won. If I win $5 million, you'll have to wait for me to live a good life. I know the friend he was talking about. The year before last, a friend's wife suddenly developed a malignant tumor. There were never any signs before, and she died less than 2 months after diagnosis. During his wife's illness, her husband won a few $1 million in the lottery. Everyone around him envied him. More people said his wife had a bad life, just followed the suffering and didn't enjoy the blessings. After his wife's death, he quickly remarried and supposedly found a young netizen in her early 20s. It turns out that his wealth was traded for his wife's life. I had thought that this matter was over. A few days later, my husband and I said, there is a Buddhist temple is particularly spiritual. Anyone who sincerely goes to make a vow will be successful. His friend had made a vow there. He drove my mother-in-law, who is also superstitious, to that remote Buddhist temple. Not many people come here to worship. My husband spent a lot of money and donated a lot of incense offerings and took my mother-in-law and me from hall to offer incense. They were chanting and bowing to each other. I am not a superstitious person, but I was also infected by the environment. In front of the Buddha, I made a wish for peace and health for me and my family. The day after I first arrived home, I got sick. I had to take time off work to go to the hospital. My husband said impatiently, what kind of leave is it? Is it necessary? It's just a small cold, don't delay going to work and making money. I just thought I had a wind chill. I didn't go to the hospital. As a result, I haven't been well for 2 weeks. I went to the hospital and couldn't find anything wrong. It's really strange. I told my husband that I should go to a hospital in a big city to have a look. He told me not to waste money, it's not necessary. When I came out of the shower at night, I suddenly heard 2 people whispering in my mother-in-law's room, Mom, do you think we've made it? Mom, do you think we're going to make it? I really don't know. How long has Tao Tao been sick? Half a month now. I felt strange. I've been sick for so long. Why are they so happy? Last time I went to a Buddhist temple, they made a vow to give me 10 years of her life in exchange for my fortune. I don't think she's going to live much longer with this coughing. Maybe she only has 30 years to live. It's the end of her life. My husband's words made me fall into an ice cave. Although I'm not superstitious, I never thought that the person under my pillow would be full of malice towards me. So he wants me to die so badly. Mother-in-law also echoed, you really didn't donate incense offerings money in vain. This time the Bodhisattva must have heard your heart. But the last time I went to a Buddhist temple I met a monk dressed as a monk. He stopped my husband. He only told him to cherish me. At that time, I was thinking that this trip was not in vain. My husband blushed slightly and asked him what he meant. He smiled and said I could bring good luck to my family. Mom, what about you? What did you wish for? Me? Of course I wished for your daughter-in-law to die early so that you can get rich and then marry May back. May is my husband's first love, because something happened to her family, he couldn't afford to marry her. They broke up that he got together with me later. It's been 10 years since we got married, but my mother-in-law actually misses her more than my husband does. My throat seemed to be blocked by something. The hand holding the door handle gradually released that if I hadn't gotten sick this time, I might have been kept in the dark. And I was wishing for my family's good health. I end this way. I look like a clown. They didn't even treat me as a human being. Once again, my husband knelt and worshipped the Buddha statue in the house before the lottery draw. Please pray to the Bodhisattva to make me rich, hit the jackpot, promote me to a big position, trade my wife's 10 years of life for me to win $50 million. My hand shook and the teacup tumbled to the ground, shattering. My husband turned his head and glared at me. What do you mean? Are you deliberately messing things up when I'm praying to Buddha? You don't want me to get rich? Mother-in-law heard the sound and ran out from the house. Oh my goodness. Peachy, what are you messing up? What good is it to you if Liam doesn't get rich? My eyes got a little red, only the teacup didn't hold steady and fell on the floor. Mom, your son just said that he wants to use 10 years of my life for him to get rich. Mother-in-law didn't expect me to tell on him to his face. It froze for a moment. Her face was a little flustered, and soon this weakness was replaced by strong words. Liam said it off the cuff. You must have misheard him. I sneered at her explanation. Good, next time he'll make a vow with his lifespan too. Now she was anxious. Tina, why are you so vicious? My son was just making a casual remark and you're going to curse my son. I raised my eyebrows and looked at her. Mom, I haven't even made a vow yet. Why are you in a hurry? I just made a casual remark too. Why carelessness made her look like a clown jumping up and down. Her face turned a pig's liver color in no time. But I clearly heard you trying to curse my son. No such thing. Mom, you're overthinking it. I was about to enter the house when she brought up the old story. I told you I shouldn't have married this evil daughter-in-law in the first place. Liam, who was kneeling on the floor, saw that the lottery ticket had not been won and was already upset. What retribution? It's not because you urged me to get married. Otherwise I could be with her, as they argued. They brought the conflict to me. You two haven't had a child for so many years. Why don't you get a divorce while you still can? I think Mayuzi is also single. You two are perfect together. Mother-in-law said to her husband in a furious manner. As far as I know, May, his first love, is married and divorced with a 3-year-old son. Why would she think that her husband's ex-girlfriend from 10 years ago would still look at him? What's more, after so many years, my husband has gained nothing but weight and laziness, and his salary is not much more at all. The main source of income for the family is still me running the cake store. Relatives say I am the fortune god of the family. My husband's monthly income of $3,000 is not even enough for mortgages, while my cake store is chained up one after another. I bought the house they are living in. Get divorced. You can't give birth to a child and you're a bad influence on our Liam. She thinks Liam is not rich, but I am the one who ruined her son ever since. The last time I heard them say they would trade my health for their wealth, I've felt uncomfortable. Fine, then let's divorce tomorrow. I probably didn't expect me to agree so decisively. A panicked look appeared on mother-in-law's face. You can pack up your things now. I am sure I'll have to sell this house in the divorce, so you'll have to move out by yourselves. Mother-in-law was anxious. This is your joint property. You know it's our joint property, Mom, so you move out first. Hubby is also anxious. Even if you bought it before marriage, after so many years, it still belongs to our common property. Mother-in-law, who just yelled for us to divorce, is now reluctant again. One day she said that the money would be unevenly distributed in a divorce, and the other day she said that no one would want a woman who was married for a second time. They also went around asking the neighbors if I'd been close to anyone lately, thinking I'd been cheating on them. After all, it's been 10 years, I've been working hard for 10 years, didn't even mention divorce. Every time I quarreled with my husband, not yet Howard, this crazy woman jumped out to persuade to leave. I see my father-in-law died early, kindly took her over to take care of. I did not expect her not a light. This time in getting a divorce, and she says I'm messing around. My husband and I slept in separate rooms. I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and heard my husband and mother-in-law arguing in the room. Mom, are you sick? What's the point of getting divorced? Just kill her to death. Son, you're still smart. When she dies, all the property will be ours. If we divorce, we'll have to let her share. If we get divorced, she'll get half of it. Why should she? I was so angry at their robber baron theories that I wanted to laugh. I bought this house with my own money, so they're not satisfied with half of it after the divorce. They want all of it. You see, she's not well since she came back from the Buddhist temple, so she must be getting spiritual, right? She can't find out why she's sick. She must be suffering from divine retribution. Her retribution has already come. My blessing should be right behind her. If I make a vow a few more times, won't it be a success? The sound of two people snickering came from the room that I sighed that I actually found out the cause of my cough a long time ago, chronic pharyngitis. They don't think I have lung cancer, do they? Mother-in-law had hired a sacred idol home from somewhere, said it's very accurate that it will make her son rich. She also put the sacred idol covered with a red cloth in my husband and his room. The sacred idol was facing our bed. And at night it was lit with a red lamp, which looked very creepy. Liam and I had a fight and slept in separate rooms and went to the side bedroom. I was alone in this room. I asked her to move the sacred idol out, but she wouldn't do it. I asked my friend to hire this sacred idol from Southeast Asia. Don't move it. If you move it around, it will affect our family's fortune. Your cake store will be in trouble too. I told her I don't need her blessing for my business. I told her to move back to her room. She didn't move and said I was ungrateful and ungodly in my family group. It's not that I don't fear the gods, I'm just not superstitious. That night, I secretly put the sacred idol she hired under the side bed where Liam was sleeping. In the middle of the night, Liam had an upset throat and ran to the toilet to spit. It turned out that all that came out was blood. He panicked and woke up his mother-in-law. Mom, something's wrong. How come it's backfiring on me? The two of them kicked in my door in the middle of the night and saw that sacred idol was gone. Tina, where did you lose the sacred idol I hired for my son? As soon as I saw their panicked looks, I knew it wasn't a proper sacred idol. You hired it for your son, so of course it went to your son's room. The two of them searched for it, and when they finally found it under the bed, Liam spat out another mouthful of blood on top of the sacred idol. I advised him to rush to the hospital. Mother-in-law pushed me away. What do you know? This is an offense to the gods. Tina, you are trying to get your husband killed. I was puzzled. Wasn't it the sacred idol you hired? Why does it have to do with me? Mother-in-law called someone to perform the rituals overnight. It took several days of tossing and turning to send that sacred idol away. Tina, you are now the biggest villain in the family. You have ruined the family's fortune. Mother-in-law put the blame on me. I don't understand. But it was Liam who was not well and was vomiting blood every day. The company sacked him. I told him to go to the hospital for a checkup, but they were superstitious and said he didn't need to go. They also told their relatives that I had offended the gods and punished on Liam. If I had that power, I'd let the gods punish them both, because Liam is unemployed. In order to make money, mother-in-law has now followed Liam's example and started buying lottery tickets. Day after day, the gods are doing it. The two of them became more and more aggressive and unapologetic. When it's time for the lottery, they kneel and worship. Use 10 years of my wife's life for me to win the lottery. Use 10 years of my daughter-in-law's life for my son's fortune. Turning back, they saw me staring at them. Liam's face was a bit uncomfortable. Don't think too much. The guru said you have a good life. Let's rub it in. Mother-in-law also said, I'm afraid I don't have a few days left to live as an old woman. You young people live a long time. Take 10 years of your life expectancy in exchange for our family's fortune. You don't mind, do you? I nodded my head. Don't mind. Next time I will also take both of your lives. Make a voice. They were really anxious when I casually said that. Tina, are you sick? We just said it casually, but you're still serious about it. You're a vicious woman. We're just trying to make our family rich. If my son wins $50 million, won't you enjoy it too? But you're trading my life for it. I am not superstitious, but I want to discuss them. The next time Liam and his mother-in-law went to buy lottery tickets, I went too. I bought 20 tickets with the exact same numbers. Liam sneered. It's your first time, don't buy so many, you'll spend hundreds of dollars at a time, total waste. Mother-in-law doesn't even care to look at my lottery tickets. Every day I say my son spends too much money on lottery tickets, but you spend more than my son does in a month. Mom, she's just too confident. I've been buying for 10 years without a center. She doesn't think she's going to win once, does she? Mother and son laughed their heads off. The owner of the lottery store intercedes. It would be great if she could win. She doubled her bet 20 times. How many zeros would that be? We've been in business for decades, and we've never even seen $5 million. If she wins, they'll rip my head off and kick it as a ball. Boss, you've got it all wrong. My daughter-in-law's luck stinks, and she even offended fortune god some time ago. I kept my face as normal and put the ticket away. The boss asked me why I had to buy 20 tickets. I asked there's something to it. I said I picked them randomly. When I got home, I saw Liam's friends circle. Continue to make a vow. Sincerity is the key. I'll win the jackpot. Tomorrow, Liam's mom posted the same thing. it's like she's doing some kind of weird ritual that I felt funny looking at the superstitious look of the two of them. In order to pinch them a bit, I also followed suit and posted the same format and content. Make a vow, a sincere heart is spiritual. I'm sure to win the jackpot tomorrow. Please. JPG. Unexpectedly, Liam saw me mimicking them and he blew up. Liam frowny face. Tina, you're sick, right? What's it got to do with you if we send a friend circle? Me frowny face. Then what does it have to do with you too if I post a friend circle? Liam frowny face. You're just a learner. Delete the circle now. I don't get it. I just copied a friend's circle. Why can't I do it? Liam frowny face. Don't be so shameless. We went to a guru to figure out the right time, place, and people before we sent the circle. So what's it got to do with you? I see. The two of them think that this format of sending friend circles has divine power. So no wonder they won't let me rub it in. I didn't delete it, and I even turned on the do not disturb button for Liam. It wasn't long before Liam started spraying me in his circle. Really laugh, brothers, my daughter-in-law today crazy, like me to buy lottery tickets, once buy 20 times, spent more than $500, stupid like, it's so funny, she even thought she could win the lottery and pretended to do so. I've been buying lottery tickets for 20 years and I've never even won $500. She doesn't think she's going to win a few $1,000,000. Does she? The comments section laughed at me, said I was overthinking it. Lotteries are all scams nowadays. If you can't sell it, you market it as a jackpot. In reality, no one wins the jackpot. It's all a scam. At dinner tonight, Liam's mom said, I saw May alone with the kids today. She lives in the neighborhood next to us. She lives in the neighborhood next to ours. I think it's sad that she's all alone with the baby. Why don't you take her to live with us? My husband didn't even ask my opinion. I think it's fine. We can take care of each other. Taking care of each other. He's a married man and a baby mama. What kind of mutual support is that? The two of them treated me as if I was heir. You said one thing and I said another. They even figured out where their ex-girlfriend's son would go to school. She's pregnant with yours. I spoke coldly. Mother-in-law grunted. I wish it was Liam's. May is young, pretty, gentle, and ladylike, and hadn't been in love when she was with my son. Where can I find this girl? Liam and I met on a blind date. Mother-in-law thought that her son was kind enough to pick me up because I had been on so many blind dates that didn't work out. It's true that what you can't have is what you can't have. Where will I live when she and her son move in? Mother-in-law looked surprised. When my son wins the lottery, he'll buy a house and you'll move out. If her son will win the lottery for sure, Mom. He's been buying lottery tickets for 20 years and he hasn't won yet. Liam looked certain. It's coming soon. I've asked the last guru to do some math. He said that our family is going to be rich soon. Our family. According to logic, these two people are at home every day waiting for pies to fall from the sky. The probability of making a fortune is almost zero. Is there a possibility that the master is talking about me? My cake store has recently been recommended by Netflix, with orders and favorable reviews. You're sick. What's it got to do with you? How much money can you make from that stupid cake store? It won't get rich, but it won't starve either. Wait for another 10 years until you get rich. Looking at their confidence, I wanted to tease them. Hey, what if I win the lottery? You don't have to rely on the cake store to get rich, right? You're dreaming. You think you'll win in one shot. If it's that easy, they'll be able to buy it for 20 years. Mother-in-law's spit sprayed in my face. Tina, what do you mean? What do you mean you won the lottery? You're going to heaven if you win the lottery. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I smiled. I suddenly remembered that I had a first love too. If I win the lottery, they'll bring him in and you guys move out. They looked like they had heard a big joke. Shouldn't you go to a mental hospital? You bought a lottery ticket this afternoon, and it's only been a few hours and you're dreaming of winning. Tina, you'll only win $20 at the most. Why don't we make a bet? If you win, they'll give you 10 times the amount. The family sat in front of the TV before the lottery draw. Liam and his mother-in-law put a statue of Buddha in front of the TV, burned incense, and bathed. They also sent a friend circle, sitting and waiting for the lottery. There are other people in the family who also have the habit of buying lottery tickets, and they are all waiting. They'll give my wife 10 years of my life in exchange for winning the lottery. Trade my daughter-in-law 10 years of her life for my son to win $5 million. The two of them make a vow and report their identity card numbers at the same time, making it look like a real thing. There is still 1 minute to go before the lottery. I followed suit and opened my mouth. Use my husband's entire lifespan for me to win $50 million in the lottery. As soon as I finished speaking, my husband grabbed me by the collar. Tina, what do you mean? How can you be so vicious and curse me? Mother-in-law was also anxious. You shameless person, why do you use my son's whole lifespan? We are only using 10 years of your lifespan, but the two of you have pledged one to each other, adding up to 20 years. If you say that again, you'll use your whole lifespan next time. Mother-in-law was silenced. It's the lottery. My husband pushed me away and hurriedly pulled out the lottery ticket. Mother-in-law also hurriedly took out the lottery ticket from her pocket and put on her reading glasses. A few moments later, the two of them grimaced. Ugh, didn't win again. They looked at me. What are you looking at? You didn't win again. At this moment, the owner of the lottery store called Liam. Mr. Lee, congratulations, your daughter-in-law won $50 million. I saw that she bought 20 tickets, so she must be very sure. So I bought one too, and I won too. I won too. The voice on the other side of the phone couldn't control its emotions and was so excited that it was going crazy. What did you say? Liam's face was as white as paper and he looked over at me. You won the lottery. Mother-in-law was also dumbfounded. No way. How could she win the lottery? It's only her first time buying a lottery ticket. How could it be so good? They asked me to show them the ticket. How could I give it to them? Tao, look for the ticket. Seeing as you bought 20, you won't be able to spend that jackpot. Why don't you give us 5 each? I spread my hands. I gave the tickets to my friends and asked them to keep them for me. Mother-in-law immediately changed her face. No way. It must be at home. You'd better take it out. What do you mean you're hiding the jackpot? And if Liam wins, won't he give you a share? We're family. With that, the two of them ran to my room to rummage around. And the next second, Liam suddenly sprayed a mouthful of blood on the floor. He covered his chest with an expression of agony. With a thud, he collapsed on the floor. Mother-in-law was so scared that he almost rolled his eyes and fainted. Son, what's wrong with you? She shook Liam's body hard and looked at me angrily. It's all because of you, bad woman. You wicked, you're shameless. You're the one who cursed my son to death. She rushed up and was about to hit me. Liam on the floor was already foaming at the mouth and convulsing. I forgot about you. Next time I'll curse you. I shrugged off her hand. She tugs at my pant leg. Where are you going? Liam is your husband too. You've been married for 10 years. You won the lottery and you don't want him anymore. You ungrateful woman. I am telling you, when you get your prize, you'll have to share it with us. The boss saw us buying it together. I looked at the unconscious Liam and held my forehead. Okay, they'll burn it for you guys. Liam was pulled to the hospital by an ambulance. Mother-in-law kept scolding me in the car, telling the paramedics that her daughter-in-law was ungrateful. She said my husband jinxed me. The paramedic pushed her away. Save your son. If you keep holding on to us, your son will die in the car. She cried loudly, saying that everyone bullied her as an old woman. Why am I so miserable? My old partner left early. My daughter-in-law still husband jinx. She is also too vicious. I sarcastically. Has it ever occurred to you that you are the one who has been attacking your old partner and your son again? She wiped her tears. You're bullying me, aren't you? I have a lot of relatives in the countryside, so I'll find someone to clean you up. I'll get someone to take care of you. Call someone. I don't have the lottery ticket here anyway. I've already arranged for someone to cash it in. If you call a group of people, will you be able to get the money for your son's treatment? She froze for a moment. You have to give us an equal share of this money, or we'll sue you in court. Do you hear me? I was a bit impatient with her. I told you I'd burn it for you if you died, so what's the point? When we got to the hospital and had to pay the money, mother-in-law took a step back. You are Liam's daughter-in-law. It's your turn to pay. I also stepped back. You're Liam's own mother. You should pay. We both pushed back and forth, and the people in line around us got very impatient. The mother-in-law sat on the floor and cried, saying that my daughter-in-law was in charge of the family's finances, and that she had taken the money and was not doing anything with it. Financial power? I am indeed in charge of the finances. I earn more than 10 times as much as Liam. Is that not the power? The uninformed people on the side scolded. Is this woman a human being? How can she not help her own husband? That's right. What kind of person would do that? I don't think she looks like she's broke even if she's dressed in gold and silver. I explained my husband's ID card, bank card, and health insurance card are all in her possession, so if she doesn't take them out, how can I pay? After the wedding, mother-in-law said she was afraid that we would spend money recklessly, so she took away Liam's salary card and everything else, even the bride price of $80,000 given at the time of marriage. She also took it away and never returned it. The beneficiaries of Liam's various commercial insurance policies are all written in her name. The family's incomings have nothing to do with me. Then how come when you need to spend money, you think of me? Mother-in-law touched her pocket. Oh no, I forgot to bring it. It's okay, Mom. Don't you still have the contact information of your relatives and Friends in your cell phone? It's okay to ask them to borrow it. I suggested. She stood up from the floor. Tina, you just won the $50 million jackpot and you want me, an old woman, to borrow money to pay for Liam's medical treatment? The people around me looked at me differently all of a sudden. Really? $50 million? I've only seen it on TV. I've never heard of it. Someone in our city won $50 million. That'll be on the news. You can't let anyone know if you've won the jackpot, or you'll be targeted by criminals. The old woman deliberately mentioned it in a place like the hospital where everyone was short of money, so she obviously didn't want me to feel bad. Mom, your Alzheimer's disease is getting more and more serious. The doctor has long asked me to take you for a review. It's all my fault for being too busy and forgetting about it, alas. And now it's just starting to talk nonsense hypochondriacs every day. I took her by the sleeve. Let's go. They'll take you to the psychiatric department to register. I am not sick. Let go of me. Somebody help my son. Mother-in-law scraped together enough money to pay for Liam's medical expenses. The doctor called me over and told me the truth. Liam has terminal lung cancer and his days are numbered. I asked the doctor when Liam's disease developed. He said at least 10 years. I suddenly remembered that Liam was not a fan of going for medical checkups for so many years. Whenever he mentioned going to the hospital, he said they were charging a lot of money and wouldn't let me go. By the time I got to Liam's bedside, mother-in-law was talking to Liam, who had just opened his eyes. Son, I've asked the doctor, you just have a small growth on your lungs, nothing more. When you are discharged from the hospital, your daughter-in-law will take us on a trip around the world. Let me tell you, your daughter-in-law has won $50 million. She can't spend it all by herself, and when she dies, it will all be yours, you. First good. A health discharged. That I looked at my stupid mother-in-law and didn't bother to argue with her. I told her that I would hire a caregiver for Liam afterward, and that I had to go to work and didn't have time to see him. Liam had tubes in his body and couldn't speak. He just looked at me reluctantly. Mother-in-law grabbed me. Hire a caregiver. Tina, you traded my son's life for $50 million. You must serve my son at his bedside. I stretched my hands. With your son's life? The doctor said your son has been sick for 10 years. You don't check yourselves, and you're blaming me. If you want to say who did this to him, it's you, isn't it? You hired a sacred idol, and once you put it in Liam's room, he vomited blood. At the mention of this matter, mother-in-law panicked at once. Cold sweat flowed. No, it wasn't me. Her voice was shaking, but she couldn't deny the fact that it wasn't me. My son was fine then. It was you. You said you'd trade my son's life for $50 million. My son died right after you said that. It was you. With that, she came forward and pushed me, being rude and unreasonable. The patient's family members came forward to fight, but she was just trying to make a fool of herself, pouring dirt on me. Ladies and gentlemen, I saw with my own eyes that this daughter-in-law of mine said she would trade my son's life for $50 million, and when she finished, she won the lottery. She swore with conviction, her chest heaving up and down with anger, and she said it had nothing to do with her. I sighed. Hey, is it really that accurate? Then I'll use your life next time I make a vow, and you too can have company then. Mother-in-law fainted directly. Out of humanitarian concern, I hired 2 escorts for mother-in-law and Liam to take care of them every day, and I took a plane and went to claim the prize. Then I immediately bought a house in an upscale neighborhood in the outer city and brought my parents over to live there. The place was heavily guarded, so that Liam's relatives wouldn't come to the door to borrow money. My parents didn't tell anyone about my winning the lottery. Instead, my mother-in-law made a big fuss about my winning the lottery. She said that I am the first person who is ungrateful child, husband jinx, and cursed my husband to death. That I wanted to save some face for Liam before he died. But I didn't realize that my relatives on mother-in-law's side would make it worse because they couldn't get in touch with me. Mother-in-law even took part in some journalists' interview. By taking interviews and divulging my privacy in exchange for money. It caused my cake store to be forced to shut down. In that case, I don't have to show them any mercy. I will no longer hire an escort for Liam, and I will no longer pay for Liam's hospitalization expenses. At the same time, I sold the house. On the day we moved out, Liam's mom refused to leave, saying it was her son's house. I smiled and calmed her down. Auntie, if you don't sell the house, where will you get the money to pay for Liam's hospitalization? If you sell it, where will my son live when he comes back? In a few days when he's discharged from the hospital, he won't have a place to stay. When he's discharged, well, give him a wider place to sleep. Liam's mom ran to the hospital and told the doctor to discharge Liam because she couldn't afford to pay for Liam's treatment. Don't you just have a small growth on top of your lung? Why did you stay in the hospital for so long? The hospital is just trying to get your money. she insisted that Liam be discharged and argued with the doctor. The patient's family next to her whispered a reminder. It's not a small bag. It's advanced lung cancer. She pulled out her ears. What advanced lung cancer? I don't understand. We didn't have so many problems at that time. Liam in the hospital bed understood. His face was as gray as paper and he instantly lost his strength. He agreed to be discharged. I heard that Liam's mom had taken Liam back to his home in the countryside. Son, I tell you, if Tina divorces you, we must not agree. She has $50 million. Even if we get a divorce, we'll get $40 million. She told everyone in the neighborhood that her daughter-in-law had won $50 million in the lottery. She's a millionaire now. When her son gets well, she'll take them back to the city. Liam doesn't speak. He's too weak to speak. That night, he left. Liam's mom went crazy overnight. She couldn't imagine losing her husband in her youth. In old age she lost her son, all her loved ones gone. The shock was too much. She hugged Liam's body and giggled. Why, your father's coming to get us. But no one answered her anymore. In the end, a kind neighbor helped her dig a hole for Liam and bury him. Now Liam was living in a wider place. Liam's mother, on the other hand, became a madwoman, stopped combing her hair and washing her face, and stopped working in the fields. She let the weeds of longing grow over the fields. She walked around every day, and no one knew where she went. The last time I was with Liam was when I burned paper for him at the Qingming festival. He never came to my dreams, nor did mother-in-law. I guess he felt so guilty that he couldn't face him. I fulfilled my promise to them. I burned $50 million for them. A woman came up to me, picked up a pile of paper money and threw it into the fire. I looked up, and there was a familiar face. She's always been Liam's screensaver, his first love. Made it. I wondered why she was here. She smiled. I heard you won $50 million. Congratulations. I can't believe she remembers Liam. Liam's mom was always talking about getting you back if Liam won the jackpot. She was stunned for a moment as she threw the paper money. Really? She lied to you, Liam and I? It's long gone. I asked her if she regretted not being with Liam now that she was rich. She was a bit confused. I realized that it wasn't her family's lack of money that made her break up with Liam. Rather, it was because Liam had been caught visiting prostitutes several times during the relationship. I never thought of getting back together with him, she said, looking into the fire. Those are just words to piss you off, but if you really listen to them, you'll be fooled. I didn't know any of this until today. And oh wonder, Liam never showed me his cell phone. How many other secrets did he have that I don't know about? But it doesn't matter, he's dead. There's no point in worrying about a dead man. Congratulations, rich dead husband. She looked over at me and held out her hand. I froze for a moment. What I thought was an enemy was a comrade in arms. I took her hand. Suddenly, a knot that had been in my heart for years was untied. In the light of the fire, I said my last words to Liam. From now on, I won't burn paper money for him. I won't visit him again. In your next life, buy fewer lottery tickets and cherish the people around you more. I donated half of my winning money to Project Hope. I kept the remaining half for myself and my parents' retirement. Years later, I was driving back to my hometown, and I passed by the lottery store where I won the lottery. It was long gone. The supermarket owner across the street said, "Haven't you heard? The owner of the lottery store got rich overnight, then cheated on his wife and got divorced. His wife stabbed him and his mistress to death in a fit of rage, and later killed herself. Their only son couldn't stand the change and jumped into the river to kill himself." I looked at the lottery store as if I saw Liam's godly ways again, begging for a jackpot, for promotion, wealth, dead wife. It turns out that getting rich overnight is not necessarily a good thing.